Now I'd like to just share a true story that, again, really emphasizes perception and how we look at things, how we look at life, and how it could either increase or decrease our stress by our perspective. Now, this study was actually done in 2007, and it was a study that was originated by the Washington Post, the big newspaper in Washington, D.C., and it was done at the Washington, D.C. metro station. And if any of you have been in a metro station before, you know it's underground. There's hundreds of people constantly walking around, and there's usually someone playing music with a hat out for money. And so this is how this study went. Again, it was in Washington, D.C., in the metro on a cold January morning in 2007. The man with a violin played 6 Bach pieces for about 45 minutes. During that time, approximately 2,000 people went through the station, most of them on their way to work. It wasn't until about 3 minutes into it that a middle-aged man finally even noticed that a musician was playing. He slowed his pace and stopped for a few seconds and then hurried on to meet his schedule. 4 minutes later was when the violinist received his first dollar. A woman threw the money in the hat and without stopping continued walking. 6 minutes. A young man leaned against the wall to listen to him, then looked at his watch and started to walk again. 10 minutes. A 3-year-old boy stopped, but his mother tugged him along hurriedly. The kid stopped to look at the violinist again, but the mother pushed harder, and the child continued to walk, turning his head all the time. This action was repeated by several other children. Every parent, without exception, forced their children to move on quickly. After the 45 minutes the musician had played continuously, only 6 people in that period of time had stopped and listened, and about 20 people gave money but continued to walk on at their normal pace. At the end of that 45 minutes, the man had collected $32. He finished playing and silence took over. No one even clapped, no one noticed, applauded, even recognized that he was done playing. Now here comes the kicker. No one knew that this violinist was actually Joshua Bell, one of the greatest musicians in the world. He played one of the most intrinsic pieces ever written with a violin, that his violin was worth $3.5 million. And 2 days before, Joshua Bell had sold out a theater in Boston where the seats averaged $100 a seat. Again, this is a true story talking about Joshua Bell playing incognito in the metro station. It's all about perception and people's priorities. The question was raised after this: in a commonplace environment at an inappropriate hour, do we perceive beauty? Do we stop to appreciate life? Do we recognize talent in an unexpected context? One conclusion that the paper came up with is if we do not have a moment to stop and listen to one of the best musicians in the world playing some of the finest music ever written with one of the most beautiful instruments ever made, how many other things are we missing? I think this is really appropriate during this time in our society, in our world, where we have schools that are temporarily closed and we have these social spacings, and it's really made me appreciate life more, appreciate you students in class and the energy that you bring, my job, my family. It's made me appreciate the outdoors more, just everything. And so if something good has come from this virus, it's, for me anyway, it's the perspective aspect. And as we're talking about perspective, again, that's the biggest key to your ability to handle stress, is how you look at life, how you look at stress. And then taking time to appreciate beauty. When's the last time you looked outside when there was a full moon and just gazed at it and was amazed at the beauty of that, or the stars, or listened to a river or a brook? You know, we just need to take time to slow down a little bit and enjoy the beauty around us. And I hope this has helped all of you, just even if it's just a little bit, to deal with stress better. And now it's time to take a break and end Wednesday's presentation.